After another heartbreaking trip to the Cotton Bowl, the coach and I will go live and take your comments, break down the Red River disaster, and that saw Oklahoma fall once again to rival Texas for the second straight year. Adding fuel to the fire, Brent Venables lit up the Big 12 on Tuesday with a comment that had them immediately pissed off and saying something back. Penn State fires James Franklin after another embarrassing loss with a $50 million buyout. Was it worth it? The growing college football hot seat, who's on it? Texas Tech's rise to number 6, and they take on Arizona State this week, and Joey Maguire and Lance Leipold in Tortilla Gate. All right now on Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach.
You know what, guys? In a nice way, y'all. We don't give a shit.
Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's the coach, Philip Roybal. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button. Like our videos. Don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment. Hall of Fame College Football. Coach, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, let's start this off right, Jason. I don't give a shit. Just thought we'd get it off on the right foot.
Listen, that is the right foot. That's yeah. People around Norman right now give a shit. They're kind of pissy about things.
They're a little pissed.
So.
I know.
and for good reason.
And,
for good
and
reason,
should
I
be,
might add.
Should be. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of wildness that's going on. Welcome into the show, Derek Hamilton, Sooner Cherry Bear, Liberty Metcalf, Benji Segoy English, Sooner Cherry Bear, Rob 077. Let's see, our Moosehead, Ghost Striker Cade, Sooner Cowboys. Go easy, Sooner Cowboys. Do not fuck with my chi tonight, sir. Sooner in Texas. Rob 077, KJ Goated, welcome into the show. Thank you for joining us as usual. Mysterious Black, good to see you, bud. All right. I already know you're out on BV. Quit saying it. All right. Got it. Damn it, man. Busting balls. Zofix, what up? What up? Ganja, my guy. All right. Moving on. Welcome into the show, everybody. Good to see everybody in here. Hey.
Absolutely.
You know, lots of stuff going on outside of Norman too this week. There's obviously some big games coming up for your Notre Dame Fighting Irish. You also got, you're playing USC possibly for the last time in the foreseeable future if they don't somehow figure out some level of agreement, and in other words, Lincoln Riley stops being such a wuss. And here's the thing about it. At this point, we've kind of talked about it. Nowadays, your strength schedule matters. So there's really no reason whatsoever for USC to pull out of that one. We'll get into that. What's up, Shawty? My mom's in there. Hello. Yeah.
Miss Cindy.
More to talk about. Let's see. Obviously, the growing college football hot seat. James Franklin being fired is a wild deal. I think it's one of those deals where we kind of, you wonder if they're going to have the nerve to do it. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a big deal that you would take a guy that's winning 10 games a year and fire him. It's a little wild, but Neilio, thank you, sir, for the super chat on Venmo. I see it there. $5 super chat for you. Appreciate you as always. But talking about James Franklin, that's pretty wild to expect that. We'll talk a little bit about that, who they may end up going with. It could flop around a lot of coaches in different places. And I don't know, man. I feel like if it could end up seeing Kurt Cignetti moving around, stuff like that. We'll talk into some of that stuff, as well as the debacle down in, Texas Tech, their jump up to number 6, number 1. But the aftermath of that was kind of wild in Tortilla Gate down there. tossing tortillas and apparently like a pocket knife on the field. Coach Leipold, Coach McGuire yelling at each other after the game over it. We'll show you all that stuff as well. Yeah. And then, who is on that hot seat? Who's going to be the next coach to get fired throughout the season? We'll get into some other stuff, but kind of wanted to start off with this stuff about Oklahoma. Obviously, I've talked about it in the last couple of days quite a bit, and my feelings are pretty well. I hadn't really talked to you about it too much, so I'll kind of make my feelings known. But I kind of wanted to go through. I've been going through comments on the channel where you've got guys that are saying things that, you know what, I'm gonna have to pull them up one at a time. But let me do that real quick because I was just still trying to do it. But one of the biggest things that for me have been, I didn't love that they played Mateer when I feel like he was most definitely injured. I don't think that there's any doubt that he was injured. And so that bothers me to a great extent. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Jason, I was pretty adamant about that last week.
Well,
I thought it was a huge mistake because he hadn't been taking snaps. I don't give a shit who you are and how good you are. When you haven't played in a week or two, to haven't been taking snaps. I mean, you can, they talk about mental reps. You can take all the mental reps, but at the end of the day, shit, your throwing hand. That's his golden nugget is that throwing hand.
yeah.
And I just thought it was a huge mistake, and I think they would have been better off not letting him play. But
Yeah, and that's where I'm at on it too, coach. And to me, it was one of those deals that it wasn't even just that part either. It was that he played, we saw it not go well. And whether you want to look, I'm at the point now that I'm not. If you want to say he wasn't injured, I think you're out of your damn mind. But it doesn't matter if you want to say he was or wasn't. Now it comes to the point of, okay, if he wasn't injured, then he played like hammered hell. And either way you slice it, you got to give me a reason why it is that you didn't pull him out for a fully healthy Michael Hawkins, who can run the ball better. He's throwing the ball well. It seems odd to me that, and in view of the fact that he was sped up, and I think a lot of it was because he was definitely favoring that hand. You saw him had blood all over his leg and all that stuff. He even the incision came apart. So, there was definitely obviously some issues, right?
yes, sir.
In the end, if you want to sit there and do the thing that Oklahoma, Venables, Mateer, Buckle, and Mateer, I'm not putting this on Mateer. He's not in charge of who plays, right? Everybody wants to play. As a coach, you got to make that decision and what's right for your football team. And I would tell you that this was a bad decision on a lot of levels, but I'm not putting it on the coaching staff or on Mateer. I'm putting it on the coaching staff of, okay, if you're telling me he was good, then tell me why it is that you left him in the game when he, even after 3 interceptions, when you were still only down 7 and you had plenty of time left to go down there and figure out a way to get back in this football game.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll just beat a damn dead horse if I say anything else about Mateer. I think, and I agree with you, Jason. I think that was a coaching decision all the way. It was a poor decision, and here's the thing. Coaches, he's made several decisions that have been detrimental to Oklahoma football, and those things are starting to pile up on him.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that because I'm a fan, but
I think that's where a lot of people aren't understanding that I'm a fan too. I'm a big fan, and I'm a big fan of Coach Venables. I love the way that they recruit. I love the way that the culture that they're instilling around in the program. That it's more about a lot of different things aside from winning. But in the end, this is you got to win thing. You know what I mean? At some point, all the recruiting, all that other stuff, when you get down to, you start looking at situations like the end of the half. These are problems when you go down there and at the end of that half, you have the way that things went, the last 35 seconds. I mean, I'm sure I thought that was absolutely bungled in so many ways. Uh, I just thought it was awful, and to be honest with
Yeah, it's just not a good look at.
you. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I mean, to me, when you go down there and you're that close, you can kick a field goal. The points are at a premium, especially at that point. You've dominated time of possession, and your defense has done a great job to keep them to 3 points and not really moving the ball at all. So, even with your turnovers, you have the lead. You can extend the lead. I lost him. Sooner Cowboys. That all right, bro. Shut up about it. Damn. Are you with me, coach? He's trying to call me. Go to this. Maybe still rolling, right? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Let me see. Maybe he'll pop back in. It looks like he took a phone call. So he did. He muted. He must be taking that. Okay. Could be something with his job, so I don't want to mess with him on that. All right. Yeah, they did. They did look like last year's team. All right. This is actually what I want to get into anyway. It's some of the comments that have been made by, and not just the doom and gloom bullshit of of people like Sooner Cowboys. So, there's more to it than just what you have to say out there, Sooner Cowboys. So I've got some different slides of stuff that I want to hear from, and I want to address exactly what was being said so I can make it clear that I'm not just killing Oklahoma in this situation. So give me 1 second. Let me pull some of these up. All right. So this first one here, obviously, WTF, how is Mateer healthy if he was bleeding and looking at his hand every 10 seconds? So it looks like he's back here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. What's up, coach? Okay, coach. No worries. Have a good one. Yep. All right. Yeah, coach had to get out. There was a situation at one of the houses that they take care of. So, all right. Let's see. WTF, how is Monsieur healthy if he was bleeding and looking at his hand every 10 seconds? Hawkins is good enough to get a shot. I'm so baffled about this whole thing. I'm starting to question Brent's decision making with offense stuff. Still no running game two. Bad O line two. OU needs to get Indiana coach Kurt. Dude, maybe why can't Brent just get demoted to D coordinator? Maybe it would be best for him so he can handle personal issues at home, etc. As bad as Mateer was throwing the ball, we would have been better off playing the third quarterback if they don't trust Hawkins. It makes zero sense. Yeah, look, I'm not going to address I'm not going to address Kurt Signetti, nor will you ever hear me floating the idea of Brent Venables taking a demotion to defensive coordinator at Oklahoma. These are things that are unrealistic, and quite frankly, I don't want anything to do with the Kurt Signetti thing, just so you know. I know I may be in the minority as far as that's concerned, but I'm not going to address that part. The injury part is a whole other story. But not trusting Michael Hawkins. Let's go there first. not trusting Michael Hawkins was about as dumb as it gets, if you ask me. If as anyone with a brain can see, that his skill set is far and away superior to, I think, a majority of quarterbacks in the SEC, much less the entire country. So, especially when the guy that they do continue to trust has as many interceptions as he has touchdowns this season, and he's bleeding all over the place as this guy talked about, this borderless dating guy, whoever he may be. Um, but the injury part is a whole other story that we can get into more, and we will in just a second. But if we're pretending that it doesn't, that injury doesn't exist, right? If that's what we're gonna do, we're gonna pretend that the injury doesn't exist. Um, you can't then pretend that Mateer is not throwing into triple coverage with wide open receivers streaking down the field, or nor that you nor that if you want to use the quarterback run game as much as it seems like they do, that Hawkins is more set up for that than even Mateer is. We're talking about a guy that says probably the fastest guy on the team and the guy that most likely to be able to make somebody miss, if you ask me. Um, Again, this is just my feelings on things, but I don't understand how we would even have a second guess about that. The bottom line for me is that OU is now in a very precarious situation, heading into a tough road environment this weekend, albeit against a team that isn't very good in South Carolina. They're not. I expect the defense to again eat very well. They just fired their offensive line coach. This D line is as good as it gets when it comes to getting pressure. They didn't get home much against Texas, but they are great at getting pressure. Um, they do still have a formidable pass rush at South Carolina with Dylan Stewart, and even they have their other guys probably just as good, if not better. So that's an issue with the offensive line that you have. But if the offense is going to sputter under the Sooners and with doing things with Mateer back in the game early on, it could make for a long day again chasing Lenore Sellers around. And if you get into a situation like you got into against Texas, sooner or later, even the best defenses are going to start cracking if they're on the field like they were in the second half this weekend. It's going to make a playoff run highly unlikely if you don't go down there and get a win. This is the worst team that you play on this schedule the rest of the way. The worst team you play on this schedule the rest of the way, without a doubt. So if you can't go win there, what would make me think that you're going to go and win the rest of them against better teams when you would have to win the rest of them to be at a 10-2 and go into the playoff for sure? If you were to lose one more, you might still have a chance to get to the playoff, but a lot of that's going to depend on how the rest of the SEC shakes out. It may or may not work itself out. I know that everybody is going to keep saying, well, right now the schedule is still a gauntlet and it's still going to be the way it is. But I would tell you that that's not a guarantee, guys. It's just not a guarantee. All right. Hey, Krusty, if you don't want to freaking listen to what I have to say, get the fuck out of here. God, I get sick of you dudes. Let me see where we're at here. Falcons didn't see the field after that performance. When will he? I hate to say it, but I think he'll transfer. I don't think there's any doubt. Yeah, I'm not ready to do this either. The let's fire him after one loss is a little wild, guys. And I'm trying to put this into perspective. That's why I'm going to address what you guys have been saying, a lot of you guys and all that kind of stuff. But Hawkins might have wanted to maintain his red shirt. Nowadays, it's athlete's choice. We don't know anything, but the response is all I care about. Listen, I'm going to say this. If you're going to tell me that Hawkins wasn't willing to play in the Red River game, I'm going to tell you bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this one. He's only played in 3 games. So if you play in a 4th game, you can still redshirt if that's the case. That's not where we are on this right now. I think it very well would have more to do with what, he's not I mean, could you see him redshirting at the moment because he didn't get a chance to play in this last one? Absolutely. Um, it definitely hurts more because it's Texas. All right, I'm gonna move on to this next one. Talking about the injury itself, My Gun Sweetness says Mateer couldn't grab a water bottle. I didn't feel good about Mateer starting this week. Uh, I told y'all let Hawkins handle Texas. Our head coach OC don't trust Hawkins and just lying to Hawkins and all of us Oklahoma fans. Texas should have had 4 or more interceptions. Put an extra O line for tight end. I missed because of DMAC's show. Oh, he was talking about the other one, but BV Wilson and Buck better figure this out before Saturday. Spread them out. You can run a little bit. Would love to see. Oh, Elijah Thomas is what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I can see that as well. Talking about that a little bit. I mean, obviously, look, let me get back to that, what he was saying. Oops. Um, Not being able to grab a water bottle. I mean, look, man, to me, it was pretty clear that he was injured. And even if you want to say that early part of the game that he wasn't, okay, cool. He hit some shots, whatever. But okay, if we're gonna talk about that he wasn't injured early on, you can't tell me that he wasn't injured late because he did. If you look at the back of his leg where he kept rubbing it on that, it was to get the blood off of his hand. He didn't have good grip on the ball anymore. Even if it was re-injured, that's a concern this week too. That would be a concern for you this week. If you think you're gonna go win, it's wild to think that you're gonna be able to, do that with, an injured hand that you might have re-injured for that matter. They're saying no, but I don't know what to believe at this point. I don't know what to believe at this point, and I don't know that I believe that that you would switch out if need be, because again, I feel like if you weren't going to say it because it was because of his injury issue or whatever, which would have been a great excuse to pull him out of the game last week. You also could say, well, you know what, he just wasn't playing good, and these are the kind of decisions that as a head coach you got to be willing to make. You have to be willing to make those decisions. So that's what concerns me on that end. All right. Let me go to the next one. Yeah. This is kind of says more about what I was just saying. Even if his thumb felt okay, it didn't. His timing was way off, and there's no way in hell they didn't see if he they no way there's no way in hell they didn't see this if he was practicing with the ones. If he wasn't practicing with the ones, they're lying even harder. And for what? See, this is the part I don't understand too. Again, more to the fact that, I mean, come on, man, don't sit here and act like we don't see what's going on, right? There's no way to sit here and act like we don't see what's going on. Um, it, these are one of those deals that you start wondering, okay, why do you do that? Why would you even pretend like that? Because it's to me, acting like the fan base is stupid is not the way to go about it either. And it just doesn't make sense. And on top of that, had you not played him at all, or even if you pull him out because of the injury stuff and you don't want to get him hurt more, um, and you save him for another day, then if you get to a 9-3 situation and they're like, well, they played the better part of that game against Texas. Let's say you lose with Michael Hawkins. I'm not positive that you do, but let's say you do. Then they could still say, okay, yeah, you lost that game. They probably lost that game because they didn't have their starter in. He's come back and played great at the end of the year, blah, blah, blah. You're in a better position for the playoffs at the end of the year for that reason, right? That's how I feel about that part. Let's see what else we got. Next one is this is a good one. What has bothered me the most about Arbuckle's inability to adjust to his personnel? It's like watching Latrell all over again with tight ends in the game. Any plays that he has with tight ends in the game, he just needs to scrap. Only formation with the tight end should be an empty set so that there's an option for the wide receiver screen. just coming off of an armchair quarterback myself. Look, I like this take, to be honest with you. Again, you heard this one from Gabe the other night, or on Sunday, from Gabe and Teddy, where he was talking about these are the worst tight ends. He called them the worst tight ends in the SEC without a doubt. And especially if we're talking about blocking wise, there's no way he's wrong, right? So that tells you that if you're doing anything that requires one of these two guys, or even having a guy like Caden Helms, who, he's struggled himself as far as that goes too. We're talking about situations that these guys aren't blocking well. And if the success or failure of your play depends on whether or not these guys get a block out there, then you might as well just figure for failure. So why are we doing it? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's see. We got a bunch here. Yeah, they do. I wouldn't put that on Helms so much. He's been hurt. He got a broken hand at the start of the year. And listen, he got hurt a lot over the last couple of years too. In the end, you got to put this on who you got to put it on. I mean, what is Trojan doing? What's going on with that? Hopefully they do better, but it is what it is. I don't know. Y'all keep blaming coaches. The plays were there offensively and defensively. Players didn't execute. Defensively, the players didn't execute. 6-4, have you lost your mind? You realize that the first half of this game, let me just say something here. Oklahoma had double the time of possession in the first half because of the defense's dominance of that offense that Texas had. It swapped in the second half because after a while where your offense cannot stay on the field, that was a problem. If you're going to, and this is what pisses me off about Coach Venables, that you're going to go in there and you made it about the defense and what they didn't do. They missed some tackles here and there and stuff, instead of making it about the fact that your offense can't move the fucking football. And for the third time in 4 years in this game, didn't score a touchdown. What are we talking about? Arch was awesome in the second half, maybe. And I wouldn't say that. Wild. Defense only had one TD scored against them, correct? That's absolutely correct. They went out there and come on, man. You guys, you got to be better than that. You know better than to say that kind of dumb stuff on here. All right. I'm going to go to the last slide. Okay. And it's talking about this. BV also needs to stop being the DC at the press conference and be a head coach and say what everyone sees. The offense needs to improve and is currently holding this team back. I don't know how that's hard for anybody to see. I did watch the film, 6-4. I did watch the film. I did watch the film. I would tell you, I'm going to tell you this. You can sit there and say things like that. Yes, there were open, and that goes back to what I was just saying earlier. Guess what? If Mateer's not getting the job done, whether it was because of an injury or it was because of him just not playing well because he hadn't played in 3 weeks, it is the job of the head coach, not the offensive coordinator, the head coach, to make the choice to pull him out of the game. If you're going to sit there and just try to you act like these coaches are doing no wrong, it's their football team. That's ridiculous too. The defense has a job to do regardless of what. Bro. Bro, are you serious here? So they're supposed to be on the field for 20 of the 30 minutes in the second half and make every tackle, never make a mistake at all. They only gave up one touchdown. And we're going to blame this one on the defense. That's what you're telling me? Bro, wake up. Wake up. Wake the hell up. Good God, man. 9-3 is where I see us going. Wasn't getting the job done because he was being selfish. That's one way you could put it. I'm not going to put this on Mateer for the simple fact that he doesn't get to make the decisions on who plays and who doesn't. And today in the press conference, Venables was still praising him. Big praise. Look, you got to call it what it is. The dude did not play well. Need both sides of the ball to win games. Absolutely. That's what you call it. Stopped being complimentary football, Cherry Bear. It absolutely stopped being complimentary football. And you can blame the defense if you want to, but it tells me you don't really have an idea of what you're talking about. What up, Johnny boy? What do I not know is an absolute? Oh, what? But the being selfish part. No, it's not on him. I agree with you on that part. It's not on him. It's not on him. It's on the coaching staff to make that decision. Yeah. Mhm. I'm not saying he didn't know what he was doing out there. And look, I think that there's some level of, I mean, you look. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's no truth to what you're saying. But to his credit, he's owned it that he played poorly. To me, it's the fact that you didn't ever try to like help this. Even if I don't care how you approach him. I don't care how you approach him and say, look, we're gonna let the kids see what he can do. We still have a chance to win this game. You're not getting it done. It looks like you're having some problems. You got blood all over you. And honestly, we can't have the turnovers. This guy has six interceptions. It's the same amount of touchdowns that he's thrown, right? So you can't whether you want to blame it on the injury, don't want to blame it on the injury. I don't really care. 6-6 is not exactly the right number. It's a bad number for this school. But in the end, you got to look at it. He didn't get the job done. So at some point, they should have pulled him out. And that's a coach's decision. And they never did it. They never did it. Think with the OU defense getting so much praise, you'd think they would have forced some turnovers, but they still seem to struggle with that halfway through the season. Whatever, bro. You're just talking shit. So that just shows they don't trust Hawkins. When Mateer leaves, they'll find another experienced QB in the portal. When he leaves, I don't know when that's going to be if he's not going to play better. Who we got? Josh Crenshaw, longtime listener, appreciate the content with BB. It's frustrating that we can't recruit, coach, and retain top-tier offensive linemen. In my opinion, we should never be this thin on the line. Yeah, I think that goes back to like that 2020, 2021, where you get into this cycle of not getting enough guys. They did okay with it for a couple of years. They were able to kind of mitigate it with the portal and stuff like that. And then they didn't last year, and it hasn't worked out this year. I would also say thank you for the super chat, by the way. I think you also have to realize that part of that too is that, look, if you're just playing the portal game, and to some extent you have to, I mean, look at Texas is also in this situation. They lost another guy during the game the other day, and and that caused them. They didn't move the ball hardly at all. If you look at the first half of play, they went punt, missed field goal in the first quarter. They went field goal, end of half in the second quarter. They had one play minus 1 yard that ended the half, right? They come back out there in the second half and score a touchdown, 14-play drive. That was great for them. But again, they switched that sequence at the end of the half where you lost momentum and then some had a lot to do with and adjustments. I mean, you got to give Texas credit for the adjustments that they made at the end of that. It is what it is. But at some point, you have to be willing to go and let's try something else. We know that Hawkins is fully healthy, and I'm going to say this one more time. If you're one of those people that's going to come in here and try to tell me that Hawkins is terrible, you don't know shit about football. You haven't watched him at all, and you're listening to some dipshit that doesn't know shit about football. Something. Because the guy is as fast as anybody on the team. He might be the one guy that makes people miss in open space on the team because we haven't seen any of that going on. And if we're going to run the quarterback run game a lot, he's definitely faster than Mateer. Plus, he doesn't have a broken thumb, and he can throw the ball and not be 5 yards offline either way. I'm just saying. And you know what? If he goes in there and doesn't play any better, then so be it. At least you gave it a shot. I feel like you left bullets in the chamber and didn't go fire them off in what is the most important game of every season at Oklahoma or Texas. It's the biggest game of the year. Yeah, well, I would think he would if he doesn't play a lot better for the rest of the year. I know it's a different ball game, but look at Ohio State versus Illinois. Ohio State gave up almost the same amount of total yards on offense and the same amount of points. The difference is Ohio. What is that? Oh, you mean the offense? Oh, coach is back. All right. Second here. Got coach everything all right?
Yeah, everything's good. Just had a little hiccup at one of the houses. Thank goodness they're just a few blocks from me.
Right. I feel you. Let's see. All right, man. Fix this real.
Jason, as you're looking for what you're looking for, I'm just going to say one thing. And I already saw some of the messages in here about fire, so and so. Guys, one game doesn't make a season, and we need to remember. We need to remember one thing, guys. Whether we like it or not, no matter who's playing great and who's not, it's a rivalry game, guys. Rivalry games. Hey, we're going into one this weekend. Anything can happen. Anything at all. And that's just a fact. And you don't base your season on one football game. And hell, I know it hurts. Shit, if we get by USC, I'll be struggling through that.
Yeah. No doubt. And here's where I'm at on it. That's what bothers me most, right? And this is a stupid comment that you made, Crunch. He doesn't like Mateer, always calls him that dude. I have never said that I don't like John Mateer. Not one time.
Never heard that.
I've never said that. I'm saying you play the guy that's healthy in this situation so that you can get back to Mateer when he's healthy. That's what I've been saying. I'm sending you out of here for the day. I'm sick and tired of you idiots that say dumb shit like this. And I'm not going to put up with it. Bye. I'm just not dealing with the shit.
Hasta la vista, baby. If you do it again, we're going to throw tortillas at you.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing that my biggest problem is, and this is something that I heard them say on Gabe and Teddy, and it's a tough thing to swallow. This is a tough pill to swallow right here because no matter how you look at it, and this is a bother for me. I hate him saying this, but this is 2 years in a row I went and watched this debacle in Dallas in person. It's an expensive trip, and to see them lay an egg is bullshit, right? Offensively lay an egg when defensively you're playing well enough to win and then some. and then some.
Yep.
So my deal is, on top of that, look, if you look at this Texas team, this is the worst Texas team you've had in 3 years. It's probably the worst Texas team you'll have in the next 3 years. And this is definitely the best team Oklahoma's had since Brent Venables took over the job. And you still got your ass whipped. Blame who you want to blame, whatever. The programs, both of these programs are measured on how they compete with each other. They are. And right now, I think it's fair to say that Texas is ahead of Oklahoma by a little bit. By a little bit. And that sucks.
Yeah.
We went 10-2 with DG. Listen, we don't have DG and we don't have Cherry Bear. We don't got DG and we don't have Jeff Lebby. Neither one of those guys are here. In the last 2 years, the offense has gone, and listen, I think that the offense has shown signs. There's talent there. I don't think that you're completely out of the woods for the playoff this year. Coach just said you're 5-1. I'm not alarming. I'm not sounding the alarms and saying we got to fire these guys. That is not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not doing the Sooner Cowboy shit. That's not what I'm doing here. What I'm telling you is that this game coming up this weekend, you cannot afford for one team to beat you twice. You can't. You can't get beat next week because you got beat this week. Coach, I'm sure you've went through this before. Are you getting kind of where I'm at on this? Like, you lose a game, it's tough. You've got you may have some injuries, whatever's going on, but what it is that really bothers you is going through that more and more. How do you handle something like that in that situation? Where do you have to go as a coaching staff?
Well, as a coaching staff, you got to sit down and again, film study, and what are our issues offensively? What are our issues in all three phases? And let's focus on those. And if you feel like you have 10 issues on offense, which that's a lot, but let's say you got 5 issues on offense, fix the most important 3, and try to get those to work and meld into a better process, better outcome. And as coaches, it's going to be critical for the coaching staff to remain on a positive side of the equation. I mean, because as a coach, you see 2 types of coaches. When coaches get beat like that, you got coaches that just, I mean, they melt. It's a meltdown, and they want to chew the players' asses out, and they want, at the end of the day, that's not going to help you. You need to get people back on track, fix the things that need to be fixed, and get ready for the next opponent. I mean, that one's behind you. You can't go back and change the outcome. So let's change the outcome for the next ball game. And that's, if you stay on the positive side of the equation, you're going to be a lot better off. And I know a lot of us in here, we think about the old days. Well, coach would have kicked our ass, and we'd have done this and would have done that. But guys, times have changed, and again, I learned as my career moved on, I learned that you got to become more positive down the stretch. I mean, no matter what the outcome was. I mean, I know just this year, guys, with my football team with the Fighting Irish, we got beaten week 1 by Miami by 3. We didn't have time to recover. We had Texas A&M the next week. Hell, we're basically if we get the ball, if our holder holds the ball on the extra point, instead of dropping it, we're tied and probably going to overtime in that ball game. But that didn't happen. That outcome we wanted didn't happen, and so you got to move forward. You guys got a whole season ahead of you, 5-1, man. You got a lot of ball games. If I'm glad the coaches aren't like some of the fans I'm reading on here, because I'm telling you what, if they were, your 5-1 would probably be 5-2 and 5-3 and 5-4. But those coaches, they're gonna regroup, get the team going back in the right direction. And you can't base everything on one football game, although it's your biggest rivalry, that you have. You can't do that. You got to regroup and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I agree. And I would address the same thing. I'm addressing this by putting it up on the screen, but Kyle, you're saying that he's not good at passing. I don't agree with that. Number one. Number two, what the hell do you think that was Saturday? Was that good passing? He passed 52% completion. Whether that's about the injury or about the way he's playing, because of the way he's playing, it doesn't matter. That's not good enough. That's not good enough, which is why it bothers me that they're making these, that you just wouldn't go do that. That you wouldn't find a way. You wouldn't at least give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. But you have to give every effort to go win this football game.
Yep.
You have to give every effort to win this football game.
Yeah, Mateer shouldn't have been in the ball game.
No. I mean, he shouldn't have. And you can say in hindsight. What do you mean in hindsight? We were saying this before. We said this on this show last week. I said it. I questioned it even after they were basically saying that Mateer was going to play on Thursday by making him probable. I said that I thought it was definitely a risk, and it's the kind of risk that can get you fired.
You said that last week, and Kyle, you must not listen, because I did a small dissertation over Mateer not needing to play. So you must not have been on last week. So if you weren't on and weren't listening, don't make asinine statements.
That's 6-4. You're not paying attention to what is being said. You've got it in your head that I'm saying to bench the guy. You've got it in your head that I'm saying to bench the guy. That's not what I'm saying. I said he probably shouldn't have played last week, and at some point he should have been pulled out last week. And hopefully he's better this week and doesn't have that same problem, because you've made it real clear that you don't want to, they've made it real clear that he's healthy and he's going to go out there and play. I hope that he's better this week. And if he's not, I hope that they will have the nerve to pull him out of the game. This is not about John Mateer.
It's about your quarterback.
If you're just going to put this on, this is just about, look, I'm not blaming John Mateer. What I'm saying is you better be willing to, for the rest of this football team, you've got to play the right guy. You've got to put the guy in that's healthy enough to be able to go and win football games. I'm going to say this again. South Carolina is not a good football team. They're not a good football team. You should go over there and win.
Guys, and again, what Jason is saying, it's not about material. It's not about a name on the back of the jersey. It's about the position, and what does that position, whether it's quarterback, it's your free safety, it's your Mike linebacker, it's your wide receiver. If they can't give you the production that your team needs to be successful,
Who gives a shit what they
you,
want?
you gotta get them out of the game.
That's right.
And first of all, you got to make a decision prior to the game because the question is, and I don't know the answer to this: how much work did he get before the game? Uh, you know,
They
I'm
said he
not sure.
practiced all week. They were indoors all week, and they said that he
Okay,
was practicing. They said he was
okay,
practicing well, mental and all that. I don't know that I buy any of it. If that
right,
I don't think that I buy any of it. I think that he was certainly at one point, and he did get hit on one of the runs that he because they like to run the quarterback run with him. He got hit, right?
right. Well,
And
and
so
that's
yeah,
go ahead, Jesse.
I'm not listening to all the last year stuff about Hawkins when it wasn't a good situation for him. The same people that'll sit there and take up for Jackson Arnold because of the situation at Oklahoma will not take up for Michael Hawkins because of the situation at Oklahoma. You guys are morons.
Well, and guys, again, when you have a loss like this, it definitely hurts deeply as a fan. Our emotions get involved, and we say things that sometimes, you know, don't make a lot of sense. Guys, the other thing we all got to understand is those coaches are with them almost 24/7 uh, practices, and obviously they believed he was ready to go. Now, probably one of the things, if they were working out indoors, I'm sure he wasn't taking any hits. I'm sure they had the red jersey on him, and he wasn't taking any hits. And you know, you knew Texas was going to attack that hand, and they were going to attack Mateer. I mean, that's part of the game. You hate to see it happen, but that's part of the game. And I think some of that obviously happened
Yeah.
in the ball game.
Again, again, this is not one of those. I'm not sitting here bad mouthing Mateer himself. I'm telling you that I don't understand how you punt on this football game at any point. I don't. When you even after, I mean, I think that you should have been able to tell after he made the first 2 interceptions that you could have figured this out, that you need to, if nothing, try to get a spark with the kid. He's healthy, he's faster than Mateer. Maybe you can get something going in the run game. You change the look and the complexity. You make an adjustment at halftime. I mean, this is another thing that we've seen some struggles with in games for the offense and for the defense for that matter. Last year they had games that they were ahead of at the half and did not play well in the second half. The adjustments were, if anybody made a good adjustment this week, it was absolutely Texas and not Oklahoma. So just going to, okay, hey, guess what? We're gonna sit you down and we're gonna try Hawkins here. We're gonna see if we can get a spark. We're gonna change the game plan up a little bit from what that gets your coach, your coordinator, play caller thinking of. Okay, what should we do to give him some? What should we do to give him some plays that are going to be successful in, right? So you start thinking in a different way than what you're thinking about on trying to protect Mateer from himself and whatever it is, him being your guy, all that other stuff. Now you're thinking about how do we go win this damn game? And guess what? You could have forced that on Ben Arbuckle by you making the decision as Brent Venable of pulling out Mateer. Because there's no way that you can tell me that after those bad turnovers that he was in good position at that point. He wasn't. He wasn't. So it is what it is,
Well,
man.
it is. It is. Hey, you got a chance. They have a chance to redeem themselves in a few more days.
Mhm.
4 days, and they got a chance to redeem themselves, and you kick the shit out of them, and everybody will be happy again.
Jaron O'Neill says, I don't think most people can separate who gives you the best opportunity to win um, in the game versus who they like or who fits the system. Yeah, Mike should have started and played the first half or at least played the second half. I
Well,
agree with you on that.
your coaches better have that that way of making those decisions.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with
You
you.
know,
Why can't any of our skilled guys make people miss? Man, let's preach about that one. Son of a bitch. They get the ball in open field and they run right into the first tackler they see. Son of It drives me nuts. And you've got some guys that are fast. Right. And I mean, look, look, bro. 6-4. I don't blame the coaches for trusting their starting quarterback. Yeah, it didn't work out because of the results. It didn't work out because of the results. You're acting like they didn't have an opportunity to fix I mean, look, if you leave bullets in your gun, you didn't do everything you should do in a firefight. Okay? If you leave bullets in the gun, you didn't do everything you need to do in the game. They didn't. They were abysmal in the second half. I just told you what the first half was for Texas. Let me tell you about the second half for Oklahoma. Punt, interception, punt, downs in the game. 10 minutes of time that they had the ball in the second half. Punt, interception, turnover on downs, turnover on downs.
not bueno.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thanks, man. Thanks. I just want to see. I want to see Oklahoma win as much as you do. And here's the deal. Like I said, you got a chance to go over there and win this week. You need to go win this week. Everything. Look, winning cures all. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not the only one that's over here that's disagreeing with the game plan. I'm not. Everybody's favorite Sooner content creators, Gabe and Teddy, were trashing the offensive game plan on Sunday night. Trashing it. I'm not in this boat by myself here, guys. And if I was, I wouldn't give a shit about that either. Because it's not wrong. It's not wrong. You got to figure out what to do. And yes, the gauntlet is here. Now, look, I'm going to tell you that I believe that Texas they're not the third best team that you're going to play on this last stretch of teams. They're not. They're not. You got Alabama, Mizzou, and then Ole Miss. All three of those teams right there are better than Texas, without a doubt. And you still got them left. So you're going to have to put points on the board. I don't give a shit how good the defense is. And it's unbelievable. You got to score points. If you don't find a way to put points on the board and play complementary football, you're not going to the playoff. And you may not win the requisite 8 games required for him to keep this job. You talk about hot seat stuff. Hot seat could be still coming for Brent Venables. He recruits great. I love the culture stuff that they work on. I love all that shit. I'm a fan of Brent Venables. You have to be willing to make the tough decisions as a head coach. You have to be.
Hey, Franklin recruited great too.
Yeah.
His ass is looking for a new job.
Listen, it could be as wild as it is in Happy Valley. Those dudes literally have won 10 games a year for let's go back and look at their records for the past few years. It's wild, but they're going to pay this man $50 million essentially to walk. Let's see, last 10 years. He was there, I think, 11. So 13-3 last year, 10-3, 11-2. They went 7-6 in 2021, 4-5 in 2020. But of course, it was the weird COVID year. But 11-2, 9-4, 11-2, 11-3, 7-6, 7-6 in his first 2 seasons. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 11-win seasons, a 13-win season, a 10-win season, one 9-win season, and some 7-6 seasons. Of like 3 7-6 seasons.
Well, and you know, and
That's a hell of a
things
record, bro.
It is, but the things that got Franklin, number one, he's an asshole. But number two, and I, you know, whether you like it or not, guys, that affects how people think about you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you're an arrogant asshole, that's going to weigh into you keeping your job or not keeping your job. And you know, if he was a pretty good fella, although he's 3-3 right now,
Mm-hmm.
started off ranked number 2 in the country at the start of the season, or no, where were they? Yeah, number 2, right? They started
Yeah,
the
number
season,
2. They were number 2. They were number 2 behind Texas, who's,
and
you
here
know,
they
they're
are
back in the
3 and
top
3.
25 this week.
I mean, and you know, guys, sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, and that's why I hate the fucking polls. Y'all know I hate the polls. You know, be careful what you wish for. You come out, you know, you rank number 2 in the preseason polls, and you kind of bow that chest, and boy, you know, get ready for our ass because we're coming after you. We're number 2 in the country. Well, you know what? It can work against you too, because now at 3-3, and you were ranked number 2, your ass is gone, and that includes being an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
Jimmy,
Gustavo Gutierrez guy, you're a dumb shit, dude. You're talking about 3 years ago. Nobody fucking cares. And you know what? With Saban, you beat him with Saban, like you just said. Texas already smoked y'all's asses with Saban. F out of here. Saban doesn't coach there anymore, and Sark is 0-2 against Kalen DeBoer. So what are we
and
talking
they,
about?
you know, and David here, he can't win the big game either, but obviously he can't lose. He can't win the easy games either because he just got his ass kicked by 2 ball clubs, one UCLA that hadn't had a damn win this season, and then his debacle this last weekend. So, you know, guys, it all stacks up. It's kind of like Legos. You know, you start putting little things on top of each other, it starts growing and growing, and that's what it did. And uh, so there you have it. And guys, in today's college football world, they don't give a shit how much they owe you. If you ain't getting the job done, they're gonna fire your ass. I mean, if you haven't seen that at this point, then you got to be struggling a little bit with the college football landscape because that's what it is. And by the way, somebody mentioned Penn State coming after Freeman. Do you honestly think Freeman's going to go to Penn State? Come on, give me a damn break.
No way. No way.
They number one, they can't pay him what Notre Dame pays him, and first of all, you don't even know what they pay him, and neither do I, because they don't have to share that information. And number two, he's got a good thing going at Notre Dame. I mean,
No doubt. Well, his name's
he's
going to always come up. You know that his name's going to always come up, though, Coach.
sure.
He's done a fantastic job at Notre Dame. He's not a Notre Dame alum or anything like that. So
No,
his
no,
name's going to come up. His name's coming up for the Florida position if it pops open. They've been talking about him. His name's coming up for any position in the Big Ten because he's a Big Ten alumni, right?
right,
There's
right.
going to be programs that if they ever fire Lincoln Riley at USC, his name's going to come up.
The
His
only
name's going
job
to
that
come
I
up.
would ever think that he would take is, and it's just a possibility, is Ohio State. I think that could bring him to the table.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I think that, of course, I think that he would absolutely go for that job, wouldn't he?
Well, I think he would look at it. I
You would
don't
look at.
know.
You'd have to look at it. It's home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
that being
home.
said, that doesn't mean he has to take it because, to be honest with you, a lot of times going back to your alma mater doesn't work out at all.
Ain't all the best. Yeah, exactly.
And the
Exactly.
expectations, look, not to say that the expectations aren't sometimes out of whack at Notre Dame too, because they are. I mean, but the expectations of a guy like him who won the national championship as a player, he's been doing very well at Notre Dame, and at Ohio State, they're gonna be like, we give you more than Notre Dame will. So you have to go in now. Right? Not
And
saying
it
it's
would.
the way it should be. I'm saying it's the way it is.
It is. Exactly.
Right.
But that would be interesting. That would be an interesting one to me.
What do I think about Alex Golich to Penn State? Do I think he would rather have an SEC job? I think it depends on the SEC job. I think Penn State's one of the best jobs in the country. Right? It's got to be considered a top 10 job anyway. Don't you think? Maybe top 15. But
yeah, top 15.
I think it would depend on what SEC job we're talking about. If they offered him Florida, I'd probably take Florida instead. I think that he's an SEC guy. But I don't know. I mean, I think that the name that we're hearing right now, it's Matt Rule. that he's going to be the guy that I think it's kind of wild too. I think it's kind of wild too to think about Matt Rule as that's who they're going to hang their hat on, and they're going to pay $50 million for Franklin to walk to go get Matt Rule, who's scared about playing out a non-conference competition that's worth the shit.
Exactly. Well, I tell you, a big name right now, guys, that we got to talk about. I don't like him because I think he's a prick too. Is Kirk Signetti? I mean, he's he pulled off a big win against Oregon. He's got them rolling. And then you got Dillingham, at Arizona State. I think he's another one that will be up for some good jobs. So I think there's some guys there. I don't know. Yeah, Manny Diaz over at Duke. I don't know how hot he is, but I know there's a few guys there that are standing in line for some of those jobs.
This is a smart. I think Penn State might hire Chip Kelly too. I think that's a hell of a name.
Yeah, another bona fide prick.
But good offensive guy, and that's what they struggle with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they're
agree.
struggling with.
No, I agree.
If you can hold on to a lot of your staff and things like that and bring in a guy like that.
Well, they've already, recruiting wise, as I keep up with the recruiting pieces, they've got recruits already decommitting and from that perspective, somebody they better do something quick because they're going to lose some really, really good recruits.
Hey, appreciate that. If Leipold were to leave, it would be for a better job than Penn State. I don't agree with that. I think he's a Midwest guy, and that's exactly one of the jobs he would leave Kansas for. It's Kansas. Come on, bro.
The only other place he may go is Texas Tech, where they throw tortillas. Have y'all had that conversation already while I was gone? The tortilla throwing?
Yeah, we haven't gone there yet. I was going to wait on you and see if you got back first.
Okay.
But we will.
Okay.
Do you think that they should have fired him though?
Fired who?
Franklin.
Oh, I do because I've never liked him. I think he's just
right.
He's not only
even with that many 10 and 11 win seasons though. You think that was enough to let him go?
I will if I was the AD, I'd have fired his ass.
Right. I guess my biggest thing is like it didn't have to be. I mean, they just re-upped him like 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, I agree.
To me, it's like he wasn't. He hadn't even been to a playoff. He was a play away from being in the championship game last year.
You're ranked number 2 in the country coming in,
sure,
and you get beat by a team that hadn't won a damn football game. They're over, and they beat your ass. And then you turn around, you lay another egg this last weekend.
No.
You know, which direction are you going, brother?
I don't know
I
that
mean,
Garrett Riley
those
would
are
give the
huge
head coaching
losses.
job.
Those
Yeah,
are
Latoya,
huge losses.
huge losses, no doubt about it. You can't listen. You can't go on the road and lose to UCLA and then turn around and still have a hangover and lose to Northwestern.
Northwestern. Oh,
Northwestern.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's. Listen, I get it. I still think it was a bit of a knee jerk reaction because if you look at the totality of it, I don't know, man. Look, I'm with you on. I'm not a Franklin guy, right?
Right.
I think that
Right.
there's
I know you're
programs around the country that there's people around the country that absolutely don't understand it because it's I heard somebody say, like Mizzou people are gonna say, I would love to have as many 10 and 11 win seasons. They would kill for that. A lot of people
well,
would kill for that. That's true. There are programs that would kill for that. If you're Texas Tech, if you're certain programs
yeah,
out there, 10 wins
you'd
is
love to be.
great. If you're
Sure.
Kentucky, 10 wins is awesome all the time. If you're
Yeah.
Alabama, they could give a fuck about 10 wins.
That's too average. That's below average for them. And
It's
well,
not. It's natty or bust, and if you're not beating the other best teams, even in your conference, much less the rest of the country, if you're not beating the other best teams in your conference, and now all of a sudden you're losing to the worst teams in your conference, something's
right.
wrong.
Yeah. Well, and again, Jason, and here's the thing to talk about too. We talk about all these 11 game, 10 and 11 game seasons, but 24 he was 13-3, great season. 23 he was 10-3, 22 11-2, and then you got 21 7-6, 2020 4-5.
Yeah.
So there's some gaps in those 11 win seasons. There's some gaps in there with not such great
Sure.
records.
Well, and here's the big one though. He's 17 and 36 lifetime against top 25 teams.
There's the big one.
With Penn State, it's 16 and 29. And against top 10 teams at Penn State, he's 4-21.
I mean, is that enough to fire him? Hell yeah.
No.
I mean,
and if you're an asshole, I'm not
you,
giving you the benefit of the doubt after losing the bottom feeders. I'll get you on that.
that's 100% great thing. Yeah.
Right.
And that's those factors. He's an asshole. He was ranked number 2 and he dropped. He's to 3-3 this season. And you're losing to the bottom feeders. It's all like I said. It's stacked up, and you got to say, shit, he's going in the wrong direction. I mean, you have to say that. So yeah. Anyway, enough of him.
No, listen. I mean, I get it. But again, it depends on it depends on the where you're looking at this from. If you're looking at this from the vantage point of Notre Dame or Oklahoma or Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State, and Penn State fancies themselves in that neighborhood, by the way.
Right. Sure they do.
If you're looking at it from that vantage point,
yeah,
then you have to say he hasn't done enough for the amount of resources that they put into your program. He has not done enough. If you are at a program that isn't winning like that ever, Mizzou,
well, you know
you
what?
might say otherwise.
You know what? That's a great thing because now he can go get one of those jobs.
Yeah. Oh, he could. I think he's going to find another job if he wants to. Right? I think if he wants to, somebody's going to hire him.
I tell you this. If I was him, I've got 50 million reasons not to.
50 million.
Yeah, 50 million reasons. Yeah.
Well, apparently, according to he's got that clause in there that he has to look for a job. That you can't really enforce that, but apparently that clause is there anyway.
Yeah, I can look for a job. I mean,
yeah,
doesn't mean I'm gonna get it.
I mean, you
I
could
can
go.
go
You
in and
listen.
have
You
a
could
shitty interview.
take a broadcasting job and do 1 day a week of analysis for an
Yeah.
hour, and that's a job. And they still got to. And I mean, you could take that, and it's $100,000 a year. What does he give a shit? They got to pay the difference.
Yep.
50 million reasons to chill. But that being said, if you want to still stay coaching, then you can. And right now, if you're looking at his record, and you could be like, okay, he still had a winning record this year. He didn't even really I mean, the last 2 losses don't look good. But what people are really going to look at is the longevity there and what he did over that amount of time. If you're certain programs, anyway, if you think that you're on the way up and you just need that one guy, there's a lot of people that would take that leap. I'm not one of them. There's a lot of people that would.
Well, I'm going to throw another angle at this, and I'm not so sure, and you may know, Jason, who all he lost off of his coaching staff after last season. I know his running backs coach is now at Notre Dame. I don't know who else he lost, but that can also create some
Yeah.
problems. And was there a reason? I mean, we were talking at the start of the season. I wasn't, but other people were saying, Penn State could have the best the best running back tandem in college football, which I disagreed with. But many people thought they were
They're
the
pretty
cream of
damn
the
good.
crop.
They're pretty
Yeah.
damn good.
What have they done lately?
No, their offense has been stagnant, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
So
with Kotelnicki too.
Yeah, exactly.
What up, Crow? Thank you for the super chat, sir. F it, let's push it.
Ooh.
Appreciate you. Push what? What are we pushing? Let's see.
We're going to push Franklin off the cliff is what we're doing.
Push him off the cliff.
I think that's already happened, though.
I know he was telling somebody to shut up. This is for whoever you were telling to shut up earlier.
Shut up, little dumbass.
Did y'all hear that?
Fucking dumbass.
Dumbass. All right. Okie State or bust. Hilarious.
Oh,
Listen.
Hey.
Now that would be a great hire if they could make that hire. That's a great hire for Oklahoma State. This is the difference between.
It fits them. If he fits them.
Agreed. Yeah, if you're Oklahoma State, you jump on that opportunity if he's willing to. Because look, you don't even have to pay him that much. You could pay him $250,000 and pay his staff a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then Penn State's paying for your coach for 5 years. It would definitely be worth doing that. Definitely be worth doing that. All right. We're good on that conversation. Let's look at what else we were talking about. Oh, okay.
Tortillas.
Yeah, let's do that one. Let me do this. Well, let me do this one first. First because this is a quicker conversation.
Okay.
Back a lot. And this isn't, the old Big 12 days where Oklahoma destroys everybody, every single week, except for one game a year. And, I'm not saying that in any other way other than, man, every week, man, there's big, long, fast, explosive dudes, great staffs, really good quarterback play, tremendous lines of scrimmage, things of that nature. And so I think again, both things, can be true. And
I love Coach V. But he's starting to sound a little bit like Matt Rule.
That was he was just talking about moving forward. He wasn't necessarily talking about the Texas game. He was talking about looking forward and what you were going to have to do throughout the rest of the season. That these are going to be tough going down the stretch. You can't let last week beat you this week again. Kind of the same thing as what I said. Now, of course, if you're looking at, if you're a Big 12 fan, I understand what you feel about it. And the Big 12 did not take very long before they had an answer for Coach Venables.
Coach, they must not listen to our podcast, Jason.
Yeah. Apparently they don't.
Big 12 sucks.
Now, it's funny that they come back with this. He lost 8 conference games in his 2 seasons in the Big 12. Now, he was not talking about his 2 seasons in the Big 12. He said the old Big 12. The old Big 12 days where Oklahoma destroyed it. He was talking about when he was coaching as a coordinator, but they're talking about that, obviously the 8 games that he lost. In year 2, when he had started rebuilding his roster, because year 1, we know that they were gutted out and they lost 6 games, 5 of which were by 1 score with a gutted roster. They lost 6 games that year in the conference. The next year, they only lost 2. So, and the one, not for nothing, the refs had their hand and Brett Yormark had their hand on that switch as well. You know what I mean? That had a lot to do with it too. That being said, it's fair to come back at him like that if you're the Big 12. I understand you coming back at it like that if you're the Big 12. Does this make you change your mind about the Big 12, Coach?
Oh, what a question. Big 12 sucks. And that includes you, Texas Tech.
He was smart because he said Oklahoma instead of meaning himself, instead of us. Right. He was talking about his time back in the day. And I don't even think I don't even care what he was saying. Things like that. And look, Oklahoma won 14 conference titles in 28 years in the Big 12. That's correct. He can say whatever the hell he wants about the school that he wants to say because he's not wrong. You can say it's a joke if you want to, Spangler, but it's a fact, to be honest with you.
It's a fact, Jack.
Facts. But it's funny, though, either way. Look, the scheduling, too, because OS suck and KU both had a bye week before playing Oklahoma in 23. Yeah, look, I'm not willing to give Oklahoma a pass on either one of those games because I felt like the coaching did you in there too on those 2 games. The offensive side of the coaching. Defensively, you gave up more than you should have, but I didn't think that they didn't have their best stuff against either game. It is what it is. But anyway, now, next thing, let's go to that next deal. But before we do, I'm going to take this quick timeout. Are you tired of your game day gear looking like it's stuck in the offseason? Well, step up your fandom with Hall of Fame College Football's official Fanatics partner store. Whether you're a diehard Oklahoma Sooners fan like myself, bleeding Crimson and Cream, or you rep another one of the SEC's heavy hitters, Fanatics has you covered. Shop thousands of officially licensed hats, jerseys, sideline polos, and exclusive championship merch from the entire Power 4 and Group of 6 too. All shipped directly to your doorstep and fast. Want to gear up like your favorite coaches and players? Are you looking for that perfect tailgate tee or a statement piece for your man cave? Fanatics is your one-stop shop for authentic college football gear from everybody that plays the game. So do yourself and your team a favor. Click our link in the description or simply log on to hofmedia.us/fanatics. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. And you can shop everything that you want for the best prices of the day right on our Fanatics partner page. All right. Joey Maguire.
Yeah, I know. That's Coach, I can't do anything about it. You want me to do something about it? I just heard. I know. And I said I got it.
Coach, you and Coach Leipold seem to have a heat exchange after the game. Can you share anything from that?
No, you know, it's It's frustrating. I'm frustrated. I know he was frustrated. We've got a new rule in this league, and we know the rule, and we didn't follow it, and we got penalized tonight, to 15-yard penalties, and he was frustrated on that side, and we got to be better. We've got to do a better job.
They were penalized a couple of times for objects on the field. How do you feel like that was handled?
Very poorly. Our conference office and Scott Draper and them were very poor at handling it. They said one of the officials almost got hit and tried to throw a flag, and it got picked up, so that was disappointing. We have a policy put in that wasn't followed through, so I was very disappointed on how that was. It's obviously they have a great crowd, but I know the officials were just as frustrated after the one penalty was picked up by whatever they call the rock, wherever that is, where it sits. Say what it is. A pocket knife was thrown out and hit one of our staff members. So, it's ridiculous. It's supposed to be for safety and things like that, and it's a culture that's been accepted to a point, and it hasn't changed, and eventually somebody's going to be seriously hurt, unfortunately.
What are your thoughts on this, Coach?
First of all, them damn tortillas, they may give you a concussion.
It's a stupid fucking thing that they do, by the way.
But let me go back, and that's where I was headed, Jason. What does, if anybody can answer this, please tell me, because I'm ignorant to this. What does Texas Tech University and fucking tortillas, what do they have in common? I don't get it. What goes there? What the hell? Tortillas? Hell, it's no fucking cookies. I don't know. But what do they have in common?
I don't know. They've been doing it for a long time. They've been doing it for a long time.
I know. It's fucking stupid.
They also been known to throw batteries, and as you heard Coach Leipold there,
yes,
they threw a pocket knife and hit one of the coaches on the sideline.
And now that's a problem. That's a problem. But and unfortunately, guys, the officials can't monitor that. That's a security issue with your.
If it hits the field, they can throw the flag and do all that, and they're supposed to be doing that, right?
But I'm talking about if it hits your staff and he's on the sideline, they're not going to see that. But again, and you can't always monitor everybody and everything, and so there are idiots, unfortunately, that do stupid shit like that. And somebody could get hurt. But the tortilla deal, that's the most asinine thing I've seen. And I don't know why they, and I got to tell you what, I'm going to chastise the administration for allowing that shit to go on. That's just stupid.
And it has gone, and it has allowed it. So Joey's talking about, what am I supposed to do? You heard him yelling at Coach Leipold. What do you want me to do about it? Well, listen, and it's not even, I'm not even put this on Joey so much as I put it on, although he needs to be out there saying, don't fucking do it. And why is it that,
stop?
How is it that it's happening? I know anytime you go into a game, not that it would set off a metal detector or anything like that, but like bags would have to have their see-through bags. You got to have whatever.
You can stuff those tortillas anywhere in your body, though.
I guess. But listen, though. But here's the deal: if you started throwing people out and keeping them banned from being able to attend games, it would curb it, right?
Shit'll stop.
And the other part is like batteries and stuff like that. That stuff is less. I've never tried to take a knife into a fucking football game because the metal detector is going to find that. They're not letting you take it in. How does that happen?
Yeah.
You know, these are egregious, stupid. I mean, look, the tortillas are just dumb. I don't have a problem with the tortilla throwing so much other than I don't understand it. Like you said, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That being said, I know for a fact that the last time Oklahoma was there were players getting hit with batteries on the sideline.
Well,
I know that for a fact.
Jason, it all goes back to, and like I said, Texas Tech administration, step up. Because it truly, and I know what you're saying, but it truly isn't Joey's job. His job is to get his team ready to go out and play ball game. It's the administration's job to make sure the facility is safe, the opponents are safe, the players are safe. That's their responsibility. And it's done through security. Maybe they need to hire more people to work their games. Right. But it's their job to take care of that. So I'm going to place the blame upon the administration at Texas Tech for such an asinine deal on tortillas, and then and that's exactly what the next step is. They start throwing knives, they start throwing batteries, they start, if you allow the tortillas, it's just going to progressively get worse.
Well, here's what Spangler's saying. The stadium staff continually played the music when KU was calling plays at the line. They released a huge smoke bomb minutes after KU took control in the second quarter. Look, that's Bush League shit right there, by the way.
But they're Bush League. They are Bush League.
I would agree. It's not, look, this is not, there's a reason, that act like you've been there before stuff. They haven't been there before. They do have to act like it because they haven't been. But it's wild that you would do, no other collegiate fan base does this shit. Well, look, I mean, the cowbells are going off at Mississippi State at all times whenever somebody else is on the field. I don't really
hurt nobody.
The sound stuff isn't bothering me as much. Now, coming from the stadium crew that plays the music, yeah, that's a little bit. That's way Bush League, bro. It's whack. But the smoke bomb, I don't know who did that. Who did that? But I don't know, man. They say tortillas is a community service as it feeds some farmers' livestock afterwards. That means
it's just ignorant. Ignorant.
You can hide tortillas anywhere. His favorite part of tonight's stream is what Wes says, that you said that you can hide tortillas anywhere. Instant classic. Fans throw water bottles, beer in between quarters. So I don't know, might be a Texas thing. Well, look, when you start talking about, but here's the thing, like, in Texas's credit, to give Texas credit here, when they pulled that shit in the Georgia game last year, number one, Sark went out on the field and fucking lost his shit towards that section that was doing that.
Yeah.
He wanted it to stop immediately. And the next thing was they started pulling video and pulled tickets because they know what seat you're in, dumbass. There's video of every seat in the house. They know who does everything. Believe that. So there's the thing. If it's not being taken seriously by Texas Tech, that the Big 12 mandated that, we know that that's the case. They're not taking it seriously at Texas Tech because you have the ability that every damn ticket is electronic now. They no longer have paper tickets. Those things are not a thing. And every one of those electronic tickets is attached to a phone, which is going to be attached to a person. And when they line up the seat numbers of the people doing such things and the number of the ticket and whoever owned the ticket or got the ticket, you're fucked. You're no longer going to get to go there. And Texas, to their credit, did that.
The shit can be stopped, but
Yeah.
you know, and you've heard me say this before, Jason. What you allow, you promote. So if you allow it, you're promoting it.
Yeah. Hear you bitch about Auburn throwing beer bottles on the field? Hey, Drew, you're such a whiny bitch, Drew. You really are. Why would I just said that? You know what? And you're a whiny bitch, and I just credited Texas with how they handled that. You whiny little girl. Holy shit.
Que puta.
Que puta. Do you know what that means, Drew? Oh, that's hilarious. Neilio says maybe the tortillas serve as a sponge for the Techers and their probable swamp ass they get during games.
Hey, Google. Hey, Drew, use your Google Translate.
Oh, that's too fucking fun. That is too fun. Just so that we placate to Drew's little whiny ass, Tennessee throws mustard and shit out on the field. I don't fucking know. There's a lot of idiot fucking fan bases, but Texas is still one of them. Crybaby. He's the whiniest bitch ever, isn't he, Zach?
Yeah.
They want to get in the opponent's head. Been like that in Lubbock forever. It has been. It definitely has been. They've been doing it in Lubbock forever.
But don't make
Only
it right.
Texas gets called out. This entire segment was about Texas Tech, you dickhead. God, mighty.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man. I can't with this guy. I can't with this guy. I don't even know why I even put that up there.
Don't.
Yeah.
Pass him on by.
Oh, yeah. Texas Tech did rise to number 6 in the AP Top 25 poll. They play Arizona State this week. Do you think that they're going? Look, they've been pretty good. You got to admit they've been pretty good, right? I know they haven't played anybody really special yet. They've played mostly, Big 12 teams. But they're clearly right now the best Big 12 team. Are they not?
Maybe.
Do you think they bought themselves a Big 12 title? Which is a playoff berth, by the way.
They could have. But you know what? There's still time for them to shit on themselves.
Oh.
What's the rest of their schedule? What's the rest of their schedule look
like? There's definitely time for them to fuck it off, no doubt. Hold on. Texas Tech. Raiders football.
You know what would be so fitting is for them to get a few more penalties for throwing tortillas, and that cost them the game.
I mean, they did get 2. I gotta be fair. You gotta be fair about this. They got 2 15-yard penalties on this.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be fitting though? To have it cost you the ball game?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, this is their. I guess this will be their biggest. This is definitely going to be their biggest. Let's see something. Oops.
Hell yeah!
What
kind of question is that, Zachariah?
What do you ask?
Jeez Louise.
What do you ask? I'm not looking at it yet.
He said, could Texas Tech as a 2-loss Big 12 champ be left out of the CFP?
They can't as the Big 12 champion. They cannot.
As the champion, they can't. But if they're not the champion, yes, they'll be left out.
Yeah, more than likely. There should be. I think this year you probably get 2 because the ACC is not good either.
Better than the Big 12.
I don't know that I believe that at all, but maybe. I don't know, maybe. All right, let's look at this. kind of looking at this here. Okay, so you got Tech the rest of the way. This is a big hurdle. Now Arizona State isn't ranked anymore, but they've just got I think they've got 2 losses maybe.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Come on, man. Hey, shit. Anyway, Oklahoma State, they're winning that one. Kansas State on the road. K-State hasn't been good. Their next place to screw up would be BYU. Arizona State, BYU, UCF, I don't think they're very good. West Virginia on the road, they should roll over them. So really there's 2 chances for them to not go into the conference championship game undefeated. I think if they win this game, unless the wheels fall off all of a sudden and then they lose to K-State, UCF, OSU, that ain't happening. They're not losing to Oklahoma State. They're god awful.
Hey,
but
history tells us they will find a way.
You could be right. That's true. What did we not listen to, Crow? What did we not listen to? Oh, man. Texas Tech will not have 2 losses, says Big Lubbock. Damn you. Hey, what up, Big Lubbock? Anytime we start talking,
I'm not sold
about
on that
Tech,
yet.
he pops in. Yeah, I know you. I knew you wouldn't be. I think that they're clearly I think that they've clearly established themselves as the best team in that.
I agree.
In that league.
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
But they always find a way to shit on themselves.
What's the best team Texas Tech will play? Probably BYU.
I think it could be Hobbs High School.
I don't know about that. Hobbs High School, not so good. Coach, they're just not that good.
But that's what I'm telling you. It could be the best team they play.
History does not apply to this year's group of players. That's fair. That's fair. Boy, Joey sure was pissy about Leipold kind of coming at him about that, wasn't he? It was pretty funny. Let's go back to that. I just want to do that real quick. What he's
Yeah, I know. That's cool. Coach, I can't do anything about it. You want me to do something about it? I just heard. I know. And I said I got it.
Coach, you and Coach Leipold seem to have a heated exchange.
I love it. In other words, he was saying,
if you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
He was telling Coach Leipold, take your top lip, connect it to the old bottom lip. Leipold's a crybaby. Big Lubbock, you got to admit, it's retarded that you guys are doing that. And listen, if what they said about the pocket knife being thrown is true, and I got to tell you, I believe it because I know about the batteries.
Big Lubbock, y'all throwing tortillas is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
And it is stupid as shit.
That's asinine. Big Lubbock, enlighten me. What do fucking tortillas and Texas Tech have in common?
Yeah, what is that about?
Please enlighten me.
Tell us why that's a tradition there, Big Lubbock. Tell us why.
I bet he doesn't know.
Oh, I bet he knows. He may not tell us, but he knows.
He doesn't know.
To answer the question, I think that their toughest game, it could be this week. It could be this week. Drew?
Hey, Drew, because I fucking want to. That's why. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's out. I'm tired of him. Bye, Felicia. Had enough of you. Whiny bitches need not apply. I do not throw tortillas, he said. Pocket knife was planted, and I agree the tortilla thing has to go away. Okay. Well, at least we give you that.
Yeah, I got to hand it to
Aren't
you.
mission tortillas made there? Are they?
Who gives a shit? The
It's not a
Trojans don't
marketing.
throw.
Are we saying it's a marketing
The
ploy, David Whitehead? Are we saying it's a marketing thing?
the Trojans don't throw rubbers out on the field. Come on, man, that's asinine too.
But Texas throws shit on the field too, you know.
What they throw
Bottles
Longhorns
and
on the field, or
oh, they throw drinks and shit.
hell, at least beer bottles, at least shit. But
Yeah,
anyway,
whiny bitches like Drew need not hang around with us
I'm
tonight.
good. I'm done with the fucking Big 12.
Yeah.
Who
It
gives
is
a
what
shit?
it is. It is what it is. I think it's wild that they would do that. They used to throw hot dog buns on the field in celebration and protest. The school banned hot dog buns, so the fans started bringing tortillas. This is according to ChatGPT. Thank you, Jacob. ChatGPT is not always correct, so I'm not sure that I buy that one. But that's funny.
Funnier as shit.
Another idea is that it started after an ESPN announcer jokingly remarked that Lubbock had nothing but Texas Tech football and a tortilla factory. Okay. Yeah. Maybe so.
Big Lubbock. Just get this in your head, brother. They ain't winning no fucking natty. They are not winning a natty.
The natty?
Oh my God.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
I just. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Wes. Well done, Wes. Well done. Hell yeah. Very well done. All right. Let's get into the final thing of the night. Let's talk about Notre Dame SC. Notre Dame SC.
Could be the last time, baby.
It might be the last time, Coach.
Yeah, could
A
be.
100-year-old rivalry down the shitter because Lincoln Riley doesn't want to play competition.
Well, but
Satterfield, there you are.
What's new? He's run from competition everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere he's been, he's run from competition.
He has. He has.
So what's going to be new now?
Now, Big Lubbock, this is a lie. This is a lie. I love you and all. You know you're always welcome here. But I got to tell you, this is incorrect. The last time Oklahoma was there, players were hit by freaking batteries. Okie like Cody tells you he's been there and seen it himself. Yeah, I know. F. Lincoln Riley. I get it. Johnny boy. Again, we're going to move on from all that stuff.
I hope that's what we can do to him this weekend there, Johnny boy. That's our plan. You know,
never seen a battery thrown.
I think a big thing for Notre Dame against USC, I think definitely our run game with our two running backs with Love and Price has got to be on point. I'm a little concerned with our offensive line, Jason. You know, we lost our starting center for the year. So at this point, we've lost our starting center and our starting guard for the year, which is a little bit concerning. But, you know, we always talk about depth, how important depth is. So hopefully we can get through that piece there. But I think the running game is going to be very important to us. I think controlling the football in this ball game against USC is critical because if Miava doesn't have the ball in his hands, then he can't give any points. And so ball control is going to be crucial. So, you know, I'm still the jury's still out on our defense. You know, they've had some great quarters as of late, but we haven't exactly been playing the best football teams in the country the last few ball games. Now we've played some top-ranked offenses. I will say that, uh, but and we're playing faster. We're playing faster. We're playing more physical. Like a lot like last year. We're starting to come around and play that kind of football again. So defense got to step up. So I think those, to me, are the big factors for us in the game. And obviously CJ Carr's got to have another good game. And CJ's slowly under the radar having some great games, guys.
He's been playing very well.
He's playing good, and so he needs to again have a good ball game. And like I said, can't turn the ball over. That's critical, because possessions are going to be at a premium in this ball game. So I think, like I said, I think strategically we've got a, time of possession is going to be huge. So we'll see.
Yeah, at least Texas Tech has learned one thing from the University of Kansas: how to purchase players. Yeah, listen, we're off of this now. All right.
Yeah.
The knife was planted. They didn't throw batteries. It was all made up. Okay, we're done with that. Look, here's what I would think. My big question: I feel like a road game. This is a tough environment. Obviously, for Lincoln hasn't been doing well on the road at USC. He hasn't. They lost already this year on the road. So to me, I look at this as a game that they should look. I'm going to say this. I like Jaden Maiava, however you say it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Great player. They've got they're playing really good offense.
They got a couple of great receivers. Yeah.
Their receivers are unbelievable. Mekhi Lemon is a dude.
Lemon
straight
is
up.
Yeah. Oh.
He is a dude. Right. And that would concern me as a Notre Dame fan because of your secondary being kind of leaky this year, right?
Yep. It was
so
early.
That's kind of a tough matchup for me. That being said, playing at home, CJ Carr's been doing a great job. I think that they have some receiving depth there as well, and you can run the football and shorten the game. I'm not sure that Texas Tech, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm not sure that SC is going to be able to run the ball well enough against Notre Dame to, if you're, to offset what's going to happen there, I think. You know what I mean? I
will say this about them, though, Jason.
They have been good running the
ball.
ball.
They've been pretty balanced this year. But, we saw, what was the running back last week that was just tearing people's asses up? He had a great name. I can't believe I forgot it. But we held him to an all-time low for the season.
They suck against good teams. They lost by a combined 4 points against those good teams you're talking about.
And they're ranked in the top,
and they're much better than SC has been. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Big Lubbock saying that Netflix wants to pay Notre Dame and USC to keep playing this game overseas. I think that there's some problems with that. I'm going to tell you that a lot of these overseas football games, and Notre Dame has done it recently, and maybe they don't give a shit at USC because they don't always fill that stadium up. I would tell you that most fan bases
he's already bitching about travel. He's already bitching about travel.
I know.
And now they're going to go overseas? Wait a minute. Which side of your mouth are you talking out of?
Well, and here's what I'm saying. And he's saying what he heard from Bob Thompson. That being said, though, I think that might be one of those ploys by USC to try to make that happen. Because number one, they know that Notre Dame probably doesn't want anything to do with it. They didn't have a good year after the last time they went to, when they went to Ireland a few years back. They they were sluggish for a while, one could say. When they came back, lost some games they shouldn't have, missed the playoff in a year that they probably could have made the playoff. But look, to me, I think a lot of teams ask Kansas State what they think about that shit. But I think USC may not care about it. I would be pissed off if I'm a season ticket holder at one of these programs and you're taking away one of my home games on a year-to-year basis. And make no mistake, SC is not doing this because it's not about travel. They're doing it because of exactly what Lincoln said at Big Ten Media Days 2 years ago. He was whining like a little girl about having to play tough non-conference games when they already have to play the Big Ten schedule that hasn't even included Ohio State yet.
Yep.
Saying.
Agreed.
I'm just saying.
Neelio, I'm with you all
I'd
the
tell
way.
you it has zero to do with that. No. And they did that knowing Notre Dame was going to say, go fuck yourself. That's not what we're doing.
Right. Well, first it was they want to go play in Mexico. Now it's and yet, like I'm saying, they want to talk out of both sides of their mouth. We don't want to travel. Well, what do you think you're going to do if you go to Mexico and you go to overseas, Ireland or wherever you play? Shit. Come on. He's just a puss and doesn't want to play anybody. He's scared. And you know what? The thing is, I don't know why he's scared, because he put some good, decent teams together athletically. And traditionally they compete well against Notre Dame. Again, it's a rivalry. And we saw this last weekend what rivalries do. They bring out the best in teams. So I'm going into this one, and I'm just hoping we can hang in there and pull a victory out of this ball game is what I'm truly hoping, because if we lose this one, we obviously know we're not going to be in that top 12. If we win it, I think we continue that pathway to the to that 12 team playoff. So it's critical.
It is. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is you don't have a choice but to win. You're in a must-win situation for the rest of the year. Yeah. This is definitely, I would say, your toughest remaining game, being a rivalry game, and they've been good. Listen, they've been good.
I would agree.
And even there's people, you want to make excuses for USC like they did. They said they had food poisoning. I don't know that I believe all that bullshit, but whatever. Let's say they did. They didn't win against Illinois. I don't think Illinois is as good as everybody acted like they were going to be.
Right.
They haven't been. They lost by 60 to Indiana. And even though Indiana went on the road and beat Oregon last week, which is, they were 31-1 in their last 32 coming into that one at home.
Yeah.
You got to give them some credit there. But I wouldn't tell you that I think that I still believe in Indiana. Now, I do think Curt Cignetti is probably number one on the. It may be Matt Rule, but I think they're idiots if that's their idea. But it should be probably Curt Cignetti.
Yeah.
Even though I don't believe in him either. Right.
Agreed.
Let's see. Tunnel is always on the Oklahoma side. That is always on the Oklahoma side. It is always on the Oklahoma side. You're right. Excuse me. That's not exactly okay. So fine. There's lots of shit that goes on at the Red River game. I've never seen a thing thrown from the stands at all in the time that I've been there. I haven't seen that. I've seen a lot of shit get said and, stuff like that. I don't see that. You don't even see that many fights. There will be some. But to be honest with you, I think for the most part, Texas and OU fans act fairly. I mean, they definitely cheer for their team hard and say each other suck a lot. There's a lot of OU sucks, Texas sucks, all that shit. But for the most part, you've seen beer and cups being thrown? Okay. Hey, listen, I believe it.
Shit, I wish they'd throw it at me.
Maybe so. open field that's split 50 at the 50. Oklahoma State could always hire James Franklin. Yeah, they could. They could afford him because he's going to get paid off the rest. All right, what else we got? The American game. F taking it overseas. It's the American game way across the border. I don't care for it over there. We don't care about what foreigners think of it either. Just frustrating. We attempt this. No, and that's, again, I don't want to look, you guys know that I'm not a fan. I do not want Oklahoma doing that. I did not like it when Bob Stoops was talking about how cool that would be for Oklahoma. I say fuck all that. I don't want to see it. I think it's tough for anybody to go do that and to come back and have a good season when you go to Europe and shit like that. I think it's you might as well throw your season away. And I don't think you can do that. Myself, but the biggest thing is I think it's messed up that you're taking a game away from your season ticket holders and you're not changing the cost of your season tickets either, by the way.
Well, and just to talk about not even the ticket holders, but to talk about what you're doing to your football players. You are putting them at a huge disadvantage because it takes, I'm telling you, I didn't go play the game. I flew over to Ireland and flew back. And I'm going to tell you, my ass was dragging for 3 weeks. And you can just imagine what you're doing to your football players in that scenario. Because, when you're playing football, you don't have 3 weeks to drag ass. And so that's my big thing with that. Jason, I was going to, I mentioned that one of my concerns was losing Ashton Craig, our center. I heard it today. There's a percentage out there, and I think it might have been an NFL number, but hell, they're going to coincide a little bit, that a team that loses their starting center, their chances of winning the next ball game is like 25%. I thought that was an interesting number, and I can see how that would be. I really can. I mean, because that's your center's your quarterback of the offensive line. But I don't know. I told you I'm concerned, but I also feel pretty good. We're going to start Joe Otting, and he's 6'4", 308, so he's not a little fella. And he's had 114 offensive snaps before the game, so it's not like he's a newbie. But that still concerns you. But I wanted to throw out that figure of the 25% because it tightened my asshole up when I heard that today.
Yeah, 9-time champion. It shows just how little you know about the Red River game because they've been trying to do that forever. They just re-signed for like another 15 years for the Cotton Bowl. They will go to home and home before they stop playing it at the Cotton Bowl. Dummy.
Hey, Jace.
9-time champion. Auburn fans are something, I got to tell you.
Yeah, there's no doubt. No, I was just going to tell you, I got one small thing to report on our little 5th grade football team. We're now 5-0. We've been 20 consecutive quarters without being scored on. And so we got 2 more regular season games, and then we'll hit the playoffs. So
nice.
We're
Michael just kill. Is he going to be the league MVP?
No, he's just a hardworking little fool. You ought to see him though, calling the offensive line blocking schemes up there. Boy, he does it with some confidence, baby.
That's awesome, dude. That is fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Stacking them wins since they claimed all those fake natties, haven't they, Zach? Stacking them.
Stacking them up.
All right. I guess we could end it with the hot seat talk. Now, Franklin obviously being the latest to get fired. I think there's still, Billy Napier he's got to be dead man walking, right? I was listening to the High Top guys the other morning. I think he's out. Of course, Sam Pittman got fired last week. I mean, how many? It's what, 4 or 5 now total? 4 that have gone already.
I think more than that. I think that number's greater than that, Jason. A lot of people
Virginia Tech, Penn State, UCLA, Arkansas. But there's others that are going to go.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think, like you said, you got Napier. Hugh Freeze could be gone too. I know this sounds a little crazy, but Luke Fickell could be gone at Wisconsin.
He is gone pretty much. It sounds like he's out.
Yeah, I think he's out of there. Norvell. It may be time for Norvell to be moving on.
Yeah. Norvell could. They've definitely kind of come apart lately, right?
Yeah.
LSU Kelly Jimmy asked possibly if they're still winning and they're in the top 10. But if they do what it feels like they probably do and don't make the playoff, I think it's possible. I think it's very possible.
If they pull a Texas Tech.
Yeah, if they pull a Texas Tech.
Pants.
Oklahoma State was another one. I just forget about them altogether. But yes, you're right.
Yeah.
But as far as listen, I could see LSU. It sounds like Stoops is gone from Kentucky. It sounds like, right?
Probably.
Feels like that's a possibility. Mike Elko is going to be a player in that Penn State search if they don't go with Matt Rule. I think he's probably a player in that. Yeah.
Who?
He's Mike Elko. He's from I think Jersey. Yeah. He may be from Pennsylvania, one of the two. But so is Kurt Signetti. So I don't know. Crow is fired? Not fired, Crow. Not fired. Not firing you, bud. You do your job too well. Some degenerate tried to say they should move the Red River to a night game. That would be a disaster, not the game, but mainly the 100,000 leaving the stadium at night in that part of Dallas. Yes.
Amen, brother.
Don't want nothing to do with that, bro.
I've been there and lived that.
And especially since they've outlawed weapons at the fair altogether. Especially since they have outlawed weapons. What's up there, Corrections? Good to see you. 10th highest paid coach in the Big 12. It's because he hadn't done shit yet. Talk a lot of shit. He was one of those guys on the hot seat. If they don't get to the playoff, do they go with somebody else? Because, I mean, would you not go with a guy like Franklin at Texas Tech? Texas Taco Tech.
I know who's going to have a lot of say.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the old boy that bought all the players.
Spangler. We talk about everybody here. Not just the SEC. Coach is a Notre Dame fan. When it's just me and the other guys that are from Colorado, from Oklahoma creators, we do all that stuff. We talk about Oklahoma. When I am with the guys from Alabama, we talk SEC, but we talk everything around here. What are you talking about? And nobody's safe around this joint. What are you talking about?
Spangler? And Spangler.
You know better.
Spangler.
Better.
It's simple, man. If you don't like talking about the Big 12, don't come in.
We're going to talk shit. We talk everybody. It's equal opportunity kicking ass. And we do it to Oklahoma fans too.
Yeah.
So
it's
since it bothers you, FKU, we can do that. Squawk, chicken hawk. I don't know. You can do all that shit if you want. You know what I mean? Would it be funny? Would be funny if USC fired Scott Frost. It would be. What about Lincoln? What happened, Ginger? Did I miss something? Lincoln Riley, that is. What about Lincoln? Did I miss something? He does suck. Oh, they sure did throw batteries at OU players because they were so losers. And again, their fans don't have respect. So you're talking about Tech here. They did do that. They did do that. Hey, go ask your boys, for all you OU fans, go ask your boy Parker about that. Do I have a prediction for South Carolina? Not yet. We'll talk about it on Thursday night on Sooner Intel. Right here at, 8 p.m. Central Time Zone. Right here. Let's see. Hey, man. Anything else? Oh, so as far as the hot seat, I could definitely see those. Who's the next to go, though? Who do you think's the next to go? Probably Napier. I'm going to say Napier. Because from what I heard from the high top guys, the second he can't get to 8 wins, he's out. That was the number that they put on him. So the second he can't get to 8, and I think they're playing Mississippi State this week, aren't they? Sorry. Florida.
They have Miami. Is Miami?
No, they already played them.
They already played Miami, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. They did.
Hugh Freeze at Auburn to me.
Yeah, they're Mississippi State this week. Oh, but so where are they at? Their record right now, they are 2-4 overall. 1-2 in the conference. So that means they've got 6 games left. If they were to lose, listen, they can only the next loss means that they can't get to 8 wins. Or they can only get to 8. No, they already have 4 losses. They can't get to 8 wins.
They can't get to 8, no.
If they lose again. If they win this week against Mississippi State, he holds on. If they lose, he'd be gone. But if not, then the next week is the cocktail game, the cocktail party. So Georgia should whip the shit out of them.
Maybe.
If Tech didn't make the playoff at this point, how big of a disaster would it be for Tech fans? It'd be a big disaster.
For Tech
I think it'd be a big disaster for the Big 12. Because you're not even playing the game. The guys that are playing the game in the league aren't even getting it done. It's a bad look, bro. Although BYU is putting their money where their mouth is also.
For me, it's not a disaster. For me, it's a common thing. It's a commonality.
Neilio, are you out of here? Napier or Fickle? It could be Luke. Could be. I think that Napier could be gone this week, though. And here's the deal. If they let Mississippi State beat them in the swamp, his ass would be gone for sure, I think. But this is coming from an insider. I mean, I'm not saying that Shelton and them know a lot of shit, know a lot of people. Allie Peak was on their show and said that, and she's connected to the school herself for sure. And not that Shelton and them aren't, but she's definitely a little more connected. They trust and believe in what she says. Well, every conference needs a juggernaut. This should be Tech's turn. Why? Why should it be Tech's turn? I tend to doubt that. Here's the thing. I like BYU. BYU's got the best defense, or not necessarily. Tech has a very good defense also. BYU has a great defense. I love their freshman quarterback. I think that's as much as I've enjoyed watching him play so far, and I have enjoyed watching BYU so far. I love Kalani Sitake. I would tell you, is Ali Pika hottie? She is a hottie. She is indeed. Yes. Yeah. Her brother played for their last national championship team, the Urban. And I think she played volleyball at Florida, by the way. So, you got me off. I like Kalani Sitake. Could he be poached away from BYU? Negative. Not happening. It's about a lot, but listen, money is not a moving thing for him. Not a thing. He went to BYU. That's his faith, everything that goes along with it. Being at BYU that's his. He ain't going nowhere.
Jason, how many likes we got?
I don't know. Probably not enough.
Are we getting
54.
any closer to? Are we getting any closer to 5,000?
A little bit. Yeah, we've got let's see.
We quit kicking people
Trying to
out.
look and see. Yeah, we've got 54. We only have 69 left. Nobody's really watching us tonight, so. But no, we've have I quit kicking people out? No, I never will do
All
that
of
either.
us. Hell, I keep telling people, if you don't like that,
We're
shit,
at 4,793 subs. So we've got 207 to go to 5,000. It would be super cool if we like hit 5,000 anytime soon. I don't know that we will.
Golly, that would be so awesome, guys. Hey, get us there. Get us there, guys. Help us.
Oh.
Reach out to your buddies. Tell them you got to come watch.
Listen, I've got respect for
watch
Allie
these
Peak.
idiots.
I called her a hottie, but I'm not going to go as far as you're wanting me to go there, Neilio. That's fucked up. Be nice. Have some respect.
Hey, guys, tell your buddies, come on, tell them, come watch these idiots.
They don't do it.
We love it. I'll answer.
Appreciate you, 9-time champion. I know we bust your chops, but this is how we roll. BYU versus Taco Tech in Lubbock should be fantastic. Watch out for flying tortillas and maybe knives.
I think I may go to that game and ask them if I can drive my fucking tortilla truck into the game.
Hey, hey, listen, you've got a pretty good relationship with Joey, don't you?
Yeah. I need to call him and tell him put the fucking tortillas away.
Oh. He sure did get a little testy about that shit.
He did.
He was pretty testy about it.
And I understand though. I do. Shit. I'm trying to coach a game just like you are. I'm trying to coach a game just like you are. Hell, I ain't worried. Fucking tortillas are flying over my head too.
Hey, Neilio, if you want to check her out, it's go look her up. Look her up, man. It's a peek inside, I think is what it's called. Florida football.
Thanks, I got to roll, brother.
Yeah, it's time to go. Appreciate everybody coming in, guys. Make sure you hit that like button and do share us because we'd love to get to 5,000. If we get to 5,000, we could do some cool shit.
Yeah.
I mean, giveaways, whatever, hangouts, something. Help us out. We'd appreciate it. The Irish tortilla truck. That's fucking hilarious right
there. There we go, baby.
That's pretty good. Like it.
Una tortilla para todos los cabrones.
And there you go. Guys, appreciate everybody coming in. Yeah. All right, guys. Talk to
appreciate
you on the next
you guys.
one.
Y'all are awesome.
Make sure you check out my bookie on your way out and hit the like button and share us with somebody. Have a good one. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, my bookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie and Hall of Fame College Football.